So we have our shapes. We have a visibility of a cone, cube, sphere. We could go here and let's do another group, and this one will do a cylinder. Inside that group or folder there, we'll create a layer, call this cylinder, and inside the cylinder here, let's do the outlines. So let's zoom in here, middle mouse over there, and yeah, let's choose this circle ellipse. And we can make it similar to this. Doesn't have to be, it's just it really doesn't have to be. This is just practice. You get the idea. So we have that. Let's just make that over here. That's too far, maybe like over here. All right. And I'll click here to go to, well, I'll press enter first. I'll click here, click and hold to choose paintbrush. I'll click here to reset, click 0, 0 in the HSV for hue saturation value, and I'll put this at 50% to fill this out. Press OK. While in cylinder, and that selection is there, but undo actually. Hardness 100%. Opacity back at 100% there. Then I'll paint that. That's great. I could take this layer, duplicate the layer, then I could take the move tool and move it, that whole layer. If I hold control, it will stay up in the same direction. And I could do something like that. I'll just right click here and merge down, so now they're combined. So if I right click here and say alpha, you'll see that they're both selected here because they're merged now. And what I'm going to do is go to the lasso tool in add mode, and I'll just add, you could actually add the rectangle too, but you know, I'll just do this. All right, so now it added that selection. I'll press enter. So it added that selection. I'm still in the same color. I'll go to paint. It's 100% hardness. Size should be okay, and opacity, and I'll just paint. All right. So now we have that for the cylinder. The circle part on the top. We could do the circle part for the top though. Probably should have kept that. Anyways, I'll just do it again. I'll make another layer for the top. And again, I'll select the ellipse because you can move that. I'll come in, zoom in a bit. Use the middle, zoom in with holding control and rolling the middle mouse button, and then hold, and then just moving the, clicking and moving the middle mouse button, you could oh, I lost it. You could move it. So I'll go back to this again. Yeah, I have the mode as replace, so I don't want it to add in this case. Let's see. Trying to get something that feel like that would intersect this top, that part, to make it feel like a cylinder here. So with that, so I'm going to use in this case intersection, and hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'll make this, sorry, another layer as a temp. Call it, it's a selection, temp selection. Or, yeah, temp selection. Because what I want to do is hide that. Actually, up here, temp selection, press enter. So we have that selection here, and I'll just make it, you know, I'll leave the same color, it's fine. And I'll take the paint, or I can take the paintbrush, fill that. I painted the whole thing, but I mean, you could use a paintbrush to fill as well within it. In the other examples, that would have worked too. So with the temp selection, I can click here to deselect or select none, or Shift Control A. I'll duplicate. What do I want to do? Actually, I said I wanted to duplicate here, but actually what I probably wanted to do is right click the last one here and say alpha to selection. So I have that. I actually don't need the temp select. I'll left click and hold and drag. So this top doesn't have anything right now. So this bottom one, the cylinder is the whole silhouette. I'll go on the top, which is empty. You can see because I hid the cylinder under it. What I'm going to do instead, what I was trying to do, is go to the ellipse select, and I'll choose intersection. Right, and with that, if I select the ellipse tool over here, until you press enter, well, you see it's updating. So it doesn't commit until it's entered, but you'll see what the result will be. So it only keeps what is intersecting here. So we'll try to get something that looks okay. I mean, you can try to copy the bottom curvature. I'll just do it roughly in this case, and then get it to the top. Maybe that's too steep, so let me flatten it a bit. Okay, we'll go with that. So now if I press enter, now that's the selection for the top that we're dealing with. And for that, remember this doesn't have anything up here. What we could do is fill it with the color. So I take the paintbrush, fill that. So now we have the bottom and the top. But this one, actually, it's going to be, so now we have something where we could just paint the top by itself. So with that, I'm just going to start painting. Go to the airbrush. That's about 50%, so I'll make it brighter because I'm going to do the highlight first. Okay, so taking airbrush, take a color that's not mid but a little brighter. So we're going to do the upper values, like the light values, because the light, we're saying the light's coming from this direction. Hardness, take it down so it's not sharp, and opacity is 100%. So if we start painting here like that, that might work out here. Let's go back to the cylinder, the lower one, and I'll right click and choose alpha select so it gets the whole options over here. And I'm going to paint the side like that. Actually, maybe undo. Let me bring that side a little lower and then go like this. And then I think that should be okay for the highlight. And what I'll do now is go for the darker side. So go here and I'll paint like this a little darker, like that. And then I'm going to just do the bounce light of the environment. So I'll just bounce it off a little, and the side will probably have some as well. And this is a little like that. And here one thing you could do is if I right click, if I'm not within here, I could choose. I'll just do that to show you. I could have this option, but the thing is I could only paint inside there. So if I undo that, I'll go into the cylinder. What you could do is inverse selection right here. So if you have this, you could go to select, invert, or control I. And it may look the same, but what it did, if you notice here, that from what, if I press Control Z, that went white. That means that's where you're able to paint. And black is where you won't be able to paint. But if you do select invert or Control I, it inverted that. So now in here you cannot paint, but out here you can. So you could use that as a border stop here if you wanted to make the highlight a little more and a little sharper or whatnot. And we could do that, and then we just add the shadow, so like we did before. So let's make a layer. This is going to be called cylinder 01 shadow cylinder _01 _ shadow, and I'll make sure it's under the cylinder. You can name them how you want it, and then I will make sure that I click here so there's nothing selected, or you could go to select none or Shift Control A in this case. All right, so now if I'm gonna, I'll zoom out a bit and I'll press this button to change it back. I'll actually try the paintbrush, the hardness, and I'll increase the size. Probably hardness even lower. And paintbrush, and let's try the opacity a little lower, and Control Z to undo that, and I'll just paint it off like that. And I'll zoom out a bit, I'll lower the brush size, or maybe a little higher than that, and then build it up, something like this. And then, yeah, you could use the eraser tool or press Shift E, and then you could just erase. So this is kind of quick to show the idea, but you know, you could take your time and like really perfect it. But this is pretty much the technique that you would use. You could shade, and you could see as you zoom out, they look better. So one trick you do is actually make your canvas a lot bigger than what your output will be. So when you actually like put it to a smaller value, it looks cleaner. Once you've done your drawings, what you probably want to do is save this out as like a JPEG or PNG, because you won't be able to open the GIMP file, the .xcf file, in most other places. So you go to export as, choose where you want to save it, and save it out. And right now it's a .png. You have to actually type out the extension, or if you want JPEG, you have to do .jpeg. I'll do .png and press export. Then you should be getting options, depending on what you choose. If you get JPEG options, it'll be different ones. If you choose JPEG, you get JPEG options. You choose what you want, then you say export. And once it's exported, you'll have your file here that you could share or look at as a regular image.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.